Well, tonight we have in our studio a true living miracle. We have Mikael Hesbach, who's a fitness fanatic, healthy eater, doesn't smoke, but in 2013 he was told he had lung cancer and only had months to live. Also with us is his doctor, Dr. David Gordon, who's with Cancer Care Centers of South Texas. They're both here to tell us about the fight against cancer and an important day coming up tomorrow. I didn't even know we have World Cancer Day coming up tomorrow, so we're going to be talking about that. But first of all, 1.5 years later, after being told you only have months to live, tell us a little bit about what that was like when you heard that news.
Evie, it's always hard to. I'll never forget the day, when it happened. It's truly gut-wrenching. I can't tell you how gut-wrenching it was. And Dr. Gordon will tell you about the clinical trial. I was very sick at that point. I was in a deep hole. I was taking oxygen 24/7. I was on morphine for pain all the time. I was so weak I was being pushed around in a wheelchair and really in a big, deep hole. And then we found this clinical trial that I was on, and obviously, being year and a half later, it's made a miraculous. It's really provided me miraculous stability. I went on and ended up having almost the best year of my life. I entered a fitness contest that I did real well in. On driving, I learned how to drive a race car around the racetrack around 150 miles an hour.
Very cool.
That I do all the time. I traveled around the world, so so even though it's gut-wrenching, and I continue to be terminally ill, I still had one of the best years of my life, and it's really due to some of the research and some of the clinical trials that doctors like Dr. Gordon made available to me.
Well, speaking about that, tell us a little bit, Dr. Gordon, about clinical trials and the importance of them.
Well, clinical trials are what is necessary to get drugs approved by the FDA to be given to other patients. They're extremely important. It used to be that clinical trials were only available at major universities, but now we have brought them to the community. We in Cancer Care Centers of South Texas are part of the U.S. Oncology Network, which is a group of 1,000 physicians, all of whom are involved in clinical trials throughout the nation, and these physicians are all in community locations. So they're very important, and for Mr. Hesbach, I think it's provided him with, as he said, a great year.
A great year of life. Perfect. And then tell us that tomorrow is Cancer Day, and why is a day like tomorrow so important for the community?
Well, World Cancer Day is something that was established in Geneva, Switzerland. It is really just getting started in the United States and in Texas. We don't have any events scheduled here in San Antonio, but in Austin, they have 3 events planned.
Oh, perfect. And really, quickly, I'd like to, if you could share a message to those out there who may hear something, news like you received 1.5 years ago, what advice would you give to them?
The best advice is one of my mentors when I was really depressed, and I was really very, very depressed, and I thought this was it. One of my mentors gave me the advice to say, never assume to know how a story ends. And if I have to go back to him today and say, I truly don't know, and I still don't know. And that was the big lesson for me that I've learned, is never give up hope. You never know how your story is going to end.
Perfect. Thank you both for joining us today and sharing your stories. Beamer?